Hello and welcome back all of you my dear students to our another video. Now today we will be learning about the 19th chapter, that is constituents of food. Now you see, food is what we eat on a regular basis, on a daily basis. And one of the important thing about the food is that all of the living organisms require it to function. Okay, without food we are nothing. Like there is a saying that you are what you eat, because you see, food is the thing that will give us all the energy to do work. And you see, working of a particular living being or living organism is really important, because if it doesn't work, okay, if the living organism doesn't work, then it is as good as a dead organism. So that is why food is a lot of importance for us. So we will learn about what is the speciality of this thing. Okay, what does it gives to us that we function so well. So the very first and foremost important thing that we have to know about food is that food is what we eat to get energy. Okay, food will give us energy and it will also help us to grow. Okay, food will give us energy and it will help us to grow. Now you just imagine that you might know when you were 2 years old. Okay, when all of you were 2 years old, okay, or 2-year-old child. So the size of your body and the strength that you had in this age, it was very less. Okay, the size was less and the strength that you had in that time was also less. But over the years, what have happened? You ate food, you ate different materials, and then your body has grown in size. Okay, your body has grown in size, in strength, okay, in your ability to do certain works, your ability to run, your ability to walk, to move hands, see. Okay, everything has improved from that age. Okay, and like if you are now you might be about 11 years of age. Okay, you just watch your size right now and you just watch your size when you were 2 years old. Okay, if you had a photo. So this is why you see, food is important for two things. Okay, energy and growth of a particular body or a living organism. So we as animals, okay, we are animals. Okay, human is a animal, and animals eat two different types of food. Okay, it might be either vegetarian food, which is derived from plants. Okay, which are derived from plants. Vegetarian food is derived from the plants, and non-vegetarian food. Non-vegetarian food. Okay, which is derived from the animals. So we will talk about all these things. What do the non-vegetarian food give to us? What do the vegetarian food give to us? Again, you see, you eat a lot of grains like rice, wheat, jawar, bajra, maize, or corn. Okay, corn. We use all these grains, we eat them. Then again, there are some cereals that we eat, pulses. Okay, cereals, pulses. Then there are certain fruits that you eat. Okay, certain fruits, certain vegetables, salads, and all these things we will eat. So all of these things, what is the main aspect that we look in the food that we eat? So this is what we will be learning in our today's video. So I have just given you the importance of food. Food is important for getting energy and the growth of the body. And we get food in a lot of different varieties, from the grains, pulses, okay, vegetables, cereals, fruits from the plants, and from the non-vegetarian we will get certain kind of meat. Okay, we eat meat, then eggs, okay, and the milk we take it from the animal. So whatever we take from animals, this is considered as non-vegetarian food, and whatever we get from the plants, it is considered as the vegetarian food. So let's discuss about what is in this food that is so important for us to eat them, okay, or eat this food on a daily basis. So basically there are two types of parts in this food, okay, the two types of nutrition that we get from the food that we eat. So constituents of food, one is the portion that we eat, okay, based on the portion that we eat from this food, it is considered, it is classified as two different types. One is called as macronutrients, okay, one is called as macronutrients. Macro means large portion, okay, large portion of food, okay, large portion that we eat daily. And another is called as micronutrients. Now micro means small, okay, small portion of the food that we eat and we get from the different sources of our food. So in the macronutrients we will see there are three different aspects of this macronutrients. One is considered as the carbohydrate source, okay, carbohydrates. Second one is called as the fats, and third one is the proteins that we eat, okay, protein. Then in micronutrients there are certain minerals that we eat and there is vitamin. So this is basically what are the constituents of the food that we eat on a regular basis. Now carbohydrates, fats and proteins, these are what we take in very large quantities for our body, because you see all of these things are required for growth and energy. And minerals and vitamins that we eat as micronutrients, these are required for certain function of different organs, okay, because you see each organ in our body requires certain nutrients to be functioning well, okay. For the well functioning of these organs we require certain different micronutrients that are what we get from the minerals and the vitamins. So first of all, let's study the carbohydrates and fats. Now as I told you, we eat food for the growth and energy. Here we have to understand that carbohydrates and fats we will be eating to get energy, okay. Carbohydrates and fats will give us energy, and proteins, whatever protein we eat, we will get the building blocks for the growth of our body and for the repairing of tissues, okay, repairing of the tissues. Like you see, we do a lot of heavy work, we kind of walk, we run, we do different things, we lift certain things, we keep it on another, we keep them at other places, and all these things we do on a regular basis, okay, on a daily basis. So what happens due to that? Our muscles and tissues get damaged, and due to that damage, okay, that fracture in the the tears in the tissues of our body, what happens? It requires repairing, and if these tissues are not repaired, then they will go it will be very fatigue in our hands to do all these things. We cannot work, we cannot do certain tasks, okay, we cannot lift if these tissues are not repaired properly. So in order to repair them, we require what we call as proteins. So let's talk about what is carbohydrate and where do we get all these things from. So carbohydrates are nothing but it is a combination of three different types of food material, that is starch, sugar and fiber, okay, starch, sugar and fibers. Now starch is of really very much importance for us, because you see we get starch, and this is like a whitish material. You might have seen potatoes, okay, when potatoes are kind of kept in water, you see something white color, powdery and kind of sticky thing will come out of it. So that is what it is called as starch. So starch is a part or a constituent of carbohydrate. Then sugar. Now sugar provides us glucose, and glucose is really very much important. Like it has a lot of importance in our body, because when we breathe, okay, right now I am breathing, right now you are also breathing, and when we breathe, this oxygen enters our lungs. But what happens to this oxygen? How does it reach up to the body parts? So the basic science is that we will take the oxygen in our lungs. Then what will happen? This oxygen will be separated over here from the carbon dioxide that we have in our blood. Now in our blood there are these glucose molecules which will travel which will have the this hemoglobin is there. It will take the oxygen, it will combine it, and it will travel in the other body parts. And when it travels in the other body parts, what will happen? It will provide the oxygen to the body parts wherever it will flow. Then it will again come back, okay, in the heart. Then again carbon, it will give the lungs the oxygen, the carbon dioxide that is kind of accumulating in our bodies, and then it will again exhale out. Okay, so this is what it is continuously going on, and sugar is the main reason, because it gives us the glucose to do all these things. So sugar we will get from sugar cane, again honey, jaggery, fruits, and all these things. Okay, so glucose, fructose, all these things are necessary for us to function, to use the oxygen. That is why you see sometimes when you are playing, you might have seen that your sports teacher will give you glucose if you get tired, and due to this glucose, what happens? The blood circulation improves, and body parts gets a lot of oxygen due to this thing. Then fibers. Fibers are present in the vegetables and the fruits. Okay, the outer covering of fruits and the vegetables, because you see this fibrous is the roughness that we require, because you see all of the food that we eat, it is stuck inside our stomach and the internal walls of the intestines. So in order to remove this material that gets stuck in the alimentary canal, we have to kind of have some roughage. Okay, roughness should be over there, so that we could throw this material outside once it is used up. Okay, it should not get choked in the between. Okay, it should not pile up in the stomach and the alimentary canal. That is why fibrous material are important for us to eat, and this is what we get from the fruits and the vegetables. Okay, and the salad that you eat, it doesn't necessarily have any kind of more nutritional value, okay, fibers, but they have the roughage, and due to that roughage we can make sure that the materials that we eat, they are also thrown outside the body once they are used by our digestive system. Then there are fats. We can get these fats from oil, meat or flesh, then eggs. Okay, and these fats are also giving us the energy. As I told you, carbohydrates and fats gives us energy. Now carbohydrates can be used up very fast. Okay, this can be used very fastly by the body, but fats are big globules. Okay, there are big molecules of this fat, and they are used only in emergency cases. That is why you see there are fat is kind of stored up in your certain body parts under the skin, and it also provides us the insulation. Okay, insulation is provided by these fats, and by this insulation, what happens? In cold atmospheres, our body require heat, okay, to function. 37 degrees Celsius is what we have to maintain, and you see this 37 degrees Celsius is maintained by this insulation cover of our body. If we have less fats, our body will lose its temperature very fastly, but if we have more fat, then insulation is very much good in our body, and the heat will be stored inside our body only. Then next is proteins. Proteins we again can get from the meat, okay, then cereal pulses and the dal that you eat. So that is why protein are again one major source for the growth of our body parts. Like you see, these things will give us energy, right? They will give us energy, but they will not help us to grow. So if we are excluding protein at all, okay, if we exclude protein from our diets, what will happen? Even if we have a lot of energy, our growth will be stunted, and due to that, you see, we will stay kind of weak and thin due to this thing. So proteins are what really important for the growth of the muscles and the tissues, the bones and all these things. Then minerals, you see, there are iron, sodium. Okay, sodium, it means Na, sodium. Then zinc, again copper. Like these minerals are present in our body. Okay, potassium. Now copper is kind of present in the water that we use. Like you see, you might have seen, if in the rainy season, people drink copper, like water from the copper vessels. Why? To increase the minerals that are over here. And these minerals are used for the lubrication purpose in the internal organs, and certain different elements are what these minerals help us. Now these minerals can be found in all of the fruits, vegetables that we eat on a regular basis. Again, the nuts that we use, like almond, cashew nut, walnuts and all these things, they are also giving us these certain minerals. Then vitamins like vitamin A, B, C, D, E, K, vitamin B12. These vitamins are necessary for us so that our certain functioning of eyes, then organs, heart, then kidneys, if we want to make them function very properly, then these vitamins are of really much importance for us. Because you see, if we have certain deficiency, like if we have something less over here, okay, if vitamins are less, then you see the deficiency of vitamin A will cause blindness, okay, night blindness. We will not be able to see properly, because you see, eyes do not require this fats, proteins and all these things. They doesn't require it. They basically require what is called as vitamins, and this is what we will get from the fruits and foods and the nuts that we eat once again. So that is why you see, in order to maintain the health of the internal organs, we require these vitamins, okay, for the well functioning of the organs. Then you see, sometimes we bleed excessively for no reason, like our gums will bleed, okay, our teeth, like under the teeth there are gums and there will be some bleeding through it. So that shows that there is a deficiency of this certain vitamin that is called as vitamin C. Again, if vitamin K is not there inside our body, we will feel tired, okay, for no reason. It is just due to the deficiency of certain vitamins that we feel like that. So this is what is generally called as the constituents of the food, and all of these things are really necessary for us, okay, right from the carbohydrates up to the vitamins, from micronutrients to the macronutrients. All of them are of the utmost importance for a healthy lifestyle. Okay, to maintain our health, we should include a lot of different constituents of the food in our diet. Because you see, these vegetables that you see, green leafy vegetables, then fruits, okay, fruits, nuts, then non-vegetarian food, okay, non-veg food is also important to eat, because you see, protein deficiency may cause malnutrition and less growth of the muscles. So balanced diet is of a lot of importance for us, and that is why you see, we have to include a healthy amount of all of these portions in our daily diet, so that our body and our health should be maintained properly. So that's all for this lesson number 19, constituents of food, and we will meet in our another lesson. So until then, have a nice week and bye.